Sixth Canto, Chapter 1, Text 53, The History of the Life of Ajamil. Na hi kaschit kshanam api jatu tishtati akarmakrit कार्यते ही अवसः कर्म गुणै स्वाभाविकै बलात् नहि कश्चित् क्षणमपि जातु तिष्ठति अकर्मकृत् कार्यते हि अवसः कर्म गुणैः स्वाभाविकैर्बलात् न हि कश्चित् क्षणमपि जातु तिष्ठति कर्मकृत् कार्यते हि अवसः कर्म गुणैः स्वाभाविकैर्बलात् न हि कश्चित् क्षणमपि जातु तिष्ठति कर्मकृत् कार्यते ह्यवसः कर्म गुणैः स्वाभाविकैर्बलात् Mataji's not he, indeed, kaschit, anyone, kshanam api, even for a moment, jatu, at any time, tishtati, remains, akarmakrit, without doing anything, karyate, he is caused to perform. He, indeed, avasaha, automatically, karma, fruitive activities, gunai, by the three modes of material nature, Swabhavikai, which are produced by his own tendencies in previous lives. Balat, by force. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. Not a single living entity can remain unengaged even for a moment. One must act by his natural tendency according to the three modes of material nature, because this natural tendency forcibly makes him work in a particular way. Please repeat. Not a single living entity can remain unengaged even for a moment. One must act by his natural tendency according to the three modes of material nature, because this natural tendency forcibly makes him work in a particular way. Purpose. The swabhavika, or one's natural tendency, is the most important factor in action. One's natural tendency is to serve, because a living entity is an eternal servant of God. The living entity wants to serve, but because of his forgetfulness of his relationship with the Supreme Lord, he serves under the modes of material nature and manufactures various modes of service, such as socialism, humanitarianism, and altruism. However, one should be enlightened in the tenets of Bhagavad Gita and accept the instruction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead that one give up all natural tendency for material service under different names and take to the service of the Lord. One's original natural tendency is to act in Krishna consciousness, because one's real nature is spiritual. The duty of a human being is to understand that since he is essentially spirit, he must abide by the spiritual tendency and not be carried away by material tendencies. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has therefore sung, Miche mayar vase jatsa vese khatsa havo dubu bhai. My dear brothers, you are being carried away by the waves of material energy and are suffering in many miserable conditions. Sometimes you are drowning in the waves of material nature, and sometimes you are tossed like a swimmer struggling in the ocean. As confirmed by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, this tendency to be battered by the waves of Maya can be changed to one's original natural tendency, which is spiritual. When the living entity comes to understand that he is eternally Krishna Das, a servant of God. Krishna. Jiva Krishna Das ei Vishwas karle to aar dukha nahi. If instead of serving Maya under different names, one turns his service attitude towards the Supreme Lord, he is then safe and there is no more difficulty. If one returns to his original natural tendency in the human form of life by understanding the perfect knowledge given by Krishna himself in the Vedic literature, one's life is successful. कश्चित् क्षणमपि जातु तिष्ठति अकर्मकृत् कार्यते हि अवसः कर्म गुणे स्वाभाविकैर्बलात्. So here in this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, the Yamadutas are explaining to Vishnudutas how a living entity is forced to work in this material world according to its material tendency in his previous life. Because the Yamadutas are telling that no one can remain unengaged in this material world for a moment. And this is also supported by Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna also speaks in Bhagavad Gita that one has to work in this material world, even just to maintain his body. So no one can remain unengaged in this material world. But how one works in this material world is very important. That whether we are working to satisfy our senses or we are working to satisfy the senses of Krishna. That makes the difference in this material world. Generally, the living entities are forgetful of Krishna. That's why they come to this material world and then they identify themselves with their material body and they devise different ways and means to work to satisfy their material senses. And they are so much forgetful of Krishna that we see in this material world, people are so engrossed in their materialistic activities that they think this is the highest activity they are performing in this material world. It's like Srila Prabhupada says in the purport, they have devised different ways of material activities, material service, and they call it service. That they call it that I am serving my family, or I am serving my nation, I am serving my society. So there are so many ways they devise, and they call it their service to the nation or to the family or to the society in so many ways, and they feel very satisfied with this. But they don't know what is the reaction of their so-called service in this material world. Sometimes even the karmis, those who are engrossed in their materialistic activity to serve their family or sometimes to their society or nation, sometimes they see the devotees of the Lord and they think these devotees are not doing any service. They are only eating and sleeping. They are not doing any service. And we are the ones working very hard, day and night, throughout our life, and we are serving our family, serving our society, serving our nation. So in this way, they deride the activities of the devotees. They don't consider the activities of the devotees as any service. They think this is useless. Service to God is useless. Service to society, nation, and of one's own family is the only thing one should do. And they think this is the goal of life. And for this kind of people, they say this thing and work in this way according to their previous sanskar. So here it has been stated that Swahavika Balat. Swahavika means natural tendency. Or Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains Swahavika means Purva Sanskara Udbhutai. This is Swahavik. Purva Sanskar means the activities done in previous life. Accordingly, from that the tendency develops in this life. So if someone is attached to family, attached to society or attached to nation, that is because of his Purva Sanskar. Swahavika or Balat. So the person is forced to act in that way. That is his natural tendency, and this is controlled by the modes of material nature. Because every living entity is under the three modes of material nature, and he has to act avasa. This has been stated in the verse. Karyate avasa. These words are very important. Avasa means is not under his control. So, the living entity is forced to act in a particular way. He has no control over himself. His Purva Sanskar, his natural tendency, according to the three modes of material nature, is forcing him to act in that way. So they are bewildered in this material world. That's why Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur says that Khatsa Habu Dubu Bhai. Like someone is learning swimming and he goes to the pond or ocean, whatever, and then sometimes he drowns in the water. Sometimes he gets up. This is called Habu Dubu. Sometimes drowning, sometimes getting up. So, because we don't know our natural position or the original natural tendency, that's why we are drowning in this ocean of material nature. Sometimes we are going down, sometimes coming up. In that way, we are suffering in this material world again and again in so many lifetimes because we have forgotten our natural position. That who are we and what is our natural duty, what is our natural service, whom should we serve? Because of this forgetfulness, we are thinking, oh, she is my wife, they are my children, I have to serve them. They are my parents, I have to serve them. They are my relatives, I have to serve them. And they are my people of my nation, so I have to serve them. They are from my society, I have to serve them. Because this is happening because of our bodily identification. I and mine, jivasya mohoyam aham mameti. This is the illusion of the living entity. He thinks I am this body and everyone related to this body is mine. That's why he develops this service nature to serve them. Because he's thinking they are his, mine. But if somehow or other, by his good fortune, this is called Ajnata Sukriti. Brahmanda Brahmita Kona Bhagavana Jeev. Guru Krishna Prasad Paye Bhakti Lata Beej. So because of some Ajnata Sukriti, unseen pious activity. But this pious activity is different than the regular pious activities. Sometimes one may help people by feeding them, by assisting them, or by building a shelter for them, by giving clothes to them, by digging a well or pond for them. These are called pious activities. And this type of pious activities will lead one to the heavenly planets. This is called karma unmukhi sukriti. But there is another type of pious activity which is called bhakti unmukhi sukriti, which can lead to bhakti. Then one may not know that he is doing this bhakti unmukhi sukriti, but he is some or other engaged. So how someone will do bhakti unmukhi sukriti? If someone, like so many people, they are coming in a tour, because there are some holidays, they are coming in a tour. But they are coming to see different places and satisfy their senses. But somehow or other, by coming in a tour, they come to a temple. They come to a Krishna temple, they get darshan of Krishna, they hear the holy name chanted by the devotees of Krishna. They even sometimes become very respectable towards the devotees of Krishna. Sometimes they get prasad of Krishna, or sometimes they help a devotee of Krishna, or sometimes they help or do some service without knowing what is the result, for service for Krishna. And these type of activities that create ajnata sukriti for them. Though they may not come to devotional service even in this lifetime. Sometimes they do, they come in this lifetime. And even if they don't come, but this ajnata sukriti created by them will lead them to devotional service in their next life. And accordingly, a person will be naturally attracted to a particular thing. Like we see in this material world, a child, he has not learned anything but naturally attracted to play drums. A child is naturally attracted to go to the temple. Sometimes we see the children, they would urge their parents, force their parents to take them to the temple because of their previous sanskar. Sometimes one will be attached to singing. Sometimes one will be attached to sports because of their purva sanskar. Because they have done that kind of activity in their previous life, that's why in this life they are attracted to that type of activity in a natural way. So the whole point of this verse that the Yamadutas are explaining to Vishnudutas, and accordingly one will get the result of his activity. If one will be engaged in materialistic activity, he will get the result of his materialistic activity. If it's sinful, he will get sinful result. If it is pious activity, he will get pious result, means some happiness, material happiness. But still Prabhupada here explains that first and foremost thing is to understand that what is our real service. Because we have that nature of serving others, that's how we are serving family, society and nation. That nature is already there within the living entity. The service nature, the nature of the soul is to serve. And why this nature has come out? Because Jivera Swarupa hai Krishna Nitya Das. The constitutional position of the living entity is to serve Krishna. This is his natural position. Because the living entity is part and parcel of Krishna. That's why the living entity has a natural tendency to serve Krishna. And in the spiritual world, so many jivas, they are eternally serving Krishna. And they are in eternal happiness in the spiritual world. We living entities who have forgotten Krishna, and as a result we have come to this material world. And because of that, serving instinct is there within us. But we have forgotten Krishna. That's why we want to also serve by identifying ourselves with the body and those who are related to this body. We want to serve them. So that serving instinct is there. But the important thing is that whom we are serving or whom we are trying to serve. If we serve our family members, or we serve the society, or we serve the nation, and in due course of our service, we may commit so many sinful activities, and as a result, we have to get the reaction for those sinful activities. And in this way, we will be bound in karma bandhana. We will be bound in these resultant reactions of karma. And not only in one life, it will continue life after life. And we have to go through 84 lakh species of life and suffer from birth, death, disease and death. And in due course of this, we have to suffer also the resultant actions of our previous karma. So in this way, we will go on continuing suffering in this material world. So Srila Prabhupada says, because we are servant of Krishna and we have that natural tendency to serve Krishna, so now in this human form of life is the opportunity to divert our service attitude from material objects to serve Krishna. This is the opportunity in human form of life. That we divert our attention to serve Krishna, which is our natural instinct. And by serving Krishna, we will get rid of this material suffering eternally. We will not take birth again in this material world to suffer. So this is the prime objective of human beings. That's why Lord Krishna is giving instruction in Bhagavad Gita. His devotees are coming and guiding us how to perform devotional service, how to serve Krishna. So Krishna lives Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. He leaves his devotees. He shows us the way how to come back to our original constitutional position to serve Krishna. And by that way, we can get rid of this material suffering and enter into a life of eternal enjoyment. That is the real goal of human form of life. So those people who are deriding devotees, they are actually foolish. They don't know what is their real goal of life, what is their real service, and what service they are rendering to the family, society and nation. That is temporary, and the resultant action is they have to take birth again in different species of life and suffer in this material world again and again. But the devotees of the Lord, those who have dedicated their life for the service of Krishna, even if they have given up the service to their family, given up their service to their society, given up their service to their nation, still they are in a better position by serving Krishna, by which they are going back to Krishna. They are stopping their life of suffering in this material world. And they are also giving opportunity to others to attain this life of spiritual and eternal life, by which they can enjoy eternally by serving Krishna. Because Krishna is Anandamaya, and anyone who will serve Krishna, he will also become Anandamaya. The source of Ananda is Krishna, and we are all looking for Ananda. But we are trying to get that Ananda from other sources, which is the source of suffering in this material world. So this is really foolishness. We are trying to become happy and trying to get Ananda from a source which is actually a source of Nirananda, means suffering. Whatever activity we do in this material world will cause us suffer. But whatever activity we do for the service of Krishna will give us Ananda, will give us happiness. But the mood we should develop to serve Krishna, that is Priti Purvaka, Bhajatang Priti Purvaka. That we should serve Krishna with Priti, with love and affection. Of course, initially, because we are conditioned, that love may not come. But at least just by following the principles, regulative principles, if we will continue serving Krishna and gradually our heart will become purified, then that love will develop, attachment will develop for the service of Krishna. And then we will go on increasing our love for the service of Krishna, and then our heart will be fully purified and will derive the real Ananda even within this material world. What to speak of the spiritual world? We can realize that Ananda within this material world. That's why the devotees, they always aspire for Sevananda. They don't aspire for Brahmananda. There are so many people, they are aspiring from Brahmananda, trying very hard to merge with the Brahman. And that Ananda is temporary. But the devotees are aspiring for Sevananda. They want to derive Ananda from service, serving Krishna. So here we can see that since the living entity cannot stay without work, he has to do some work in this material world. Then we have to know that actually whom should we serve. If we serve our material family, society and nation, what will be the result? And if we serve Krishna, then what will be the result? So Srila Prabhupada said, this is our natural position, natural instinct to serve Krishna, and when we serve Krishna, we can really become happy. And sometimes we see that even if so many people they are serving their family, society and nation, still they are not happy. By serving their family, they are not happy. They are trying to become happy, but still they are not happy. So many problems are there in the family. So many problems come. And even while serving the society, so many problems come. Even while serving the nation, so many problems come. And that's why they cannot derive the real happiness. And the only happiness we can derive is by serving Krishna, which is our eternal position. And in this position, we will get happiness, and at the same time, after leaving this body, we will go back to Krishna and enter into eternal service of Krishna. That is the real goal of our life. So the Yamadutas, they are explaining to Vishnudutas that how the living entities are entangled in this material world by serving their families, society and nation, by serving their senses, and in due course of service they commit so many sinful activities and they become entangled in the reactionary process of the sinful activities. That while getting the reaction of a particular sinful activity, they commit new actions. In that way they become bound up and continue the life of suffering, birth after birth. And these people are actually subject to the punishment of Yamadutas and Yamaraj. But those who are serving Krishna, they are free from the punishment of Yamaraj. Even someone is serving Krishna, but still he may not be a pure devotee, but still Yamadutas cannot come near that devotee. That is the protection Krishna gives to us. That when we come to Krishna consciousness and serve Krishna, then Krishna gives us protection. Yamaraj has the standing order. We can read in this chapter. Yamaraj tells the Yamadutas, don't go near to the devotees of the Lord. They are very powerful and they are being protected by the mace and disc of Lord Krishna. The devotees are always protected by the weapons of Lord Vishnu. So that's why Yamaraj tells the Yamadutas, don't go near the devotees. They are very, very powerful. If you go near the devotees, you will be in trouble. That's why the Yamadutas never dare to come near the devotees. Even a devotee commits any sinful activity, but Yamaraj has no jurisdiction over the devotees. Krishna personally punishes the devotees. If they are engaged in sinful activity, Krishna will personally punish them. But they will not be punished by the Yamadutas or Yamaraj. So here, Yamadutas, they have been questioned by the Vishnudutas that who is to be punished, who is punishable in this material world. So now they are explaining, the Yamadutas are explaining to Vishnudutas who are subject to punishment of Yamaraj. So in this verse they are explaining that how one is forced to act in this material world, and in due course of action he commits sinful activities, and then he is subject to the punishment of Yamaraj, and then he commits more activities, more sinful activities, and that way he becomes entangled in this material world. Hare Krishna. So is there any questions or comments? Yes. Someone can give him mic.
Very often use the word punishment, but does not punishment mean rectification?
Yes, punishment is meant for rectification. That is the question you are asking. Yeah, punishment is meant for rectification. That's why one should not do it again. Yes? You are asking? No. Jai Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki